What if the darkest moment of your life was actually the spark that ignited your greatest transformation? Have you ever reached that breaking point where the pain feels unbearable and giving up seems like the only option? That moment when you wake up thinking, I can't go on, it's too much, it's impossible. Maybe you're fighting to provide for your family, building something from nothing, or pushing through endless setbacks with no visible progress, and that inner voice whispers, quit. It's not worth the struggle. You're not cut out for this. But today, I'm sharing something that could shift everything for you. There's a powerful Japanese concept called Ganbaru. It means to persevere tenaciously, to give your absolute best, and to keep going, even when everything feels impossible. This isn't just philosophy, it's the spirit that helped rebuild a nation from ruins, and it's transformed countless lives by turning pain into unbreakable purpose. Before we dive deeper, if this is already resonating with you, hit subscribe, like the video, and drop a comment below. What's your biggest challenge right now that's tempting you to quit? I read as many as I can. You're never alone in this. Now, let's explore the story that brings Ganbaru to life. Japan, 1947. 2 years after World War II ended, the nation lay in ashes, cities reduced to rubble, the economy shattered, millions lost to the war or starvation, survivors scraped by in total desperation. In a remote rural village, 19-year-old Kenji lived with his widowed mother, two young brothers, and elderly grandmother. His father had died in the war, leaving Kenji as the family's only provider, with no money, no food, no connections. Each dawn, Kenji rose on an empty stomach, carrying the weight of his family's survival on his young shoulders. He watched his mother hide her tears, his brothers beg for food he couldn't provide. Deep down, he felt like a complete failure. I should be protecting them, but I'm too weak. He was disciplined. He woke early, worked the fields tirelessly, took any odd job he could find. But it was never enough. Hope was fading fast. One freezing morning, after being turned away from yet another farm job, I can barely pay my current workers. Kenji trudged home, defeated. He collapsed on the dirt floor, stared at the gray sky, tears streaming down his face. I can't do this anymore, he whispered. I've tried everything. It's hopeless. In that moment of total surrender, an older man with calloused hands and simple clothes approached. You all right, young man? Kenji wiped his face. Just tired. The man smiled knowingly. Tired or defeated? After a quiet pause, he said, I've got a small carpentry shop in the next town. I need help. Pays modest, but there's honest work. And food. A faint spark flickered inside Kenji. I'll take it, sir. Anything. The man extended his hand. Call me Tiada. Start tomorrow. Kenji arrived early the next day at the modest workshop, filled with the scent of fresh wood and old tools. Tiada worked quietly beside him. The days were grueling. Kenji knew nothing about carpentry. His hands blistered and bled. His muscles screamed. But he pushed on without a single complaint. One evening, over a simple cup of tea, Tiada asked, Kenji, do you know Ganbaru? Kenji shook his head. It's an ancient idea, to persist with all your strength, to do your utmost, never quitting, even when it seems futile. Tita shared his own losses, his home, his family, everything gone after the war. But I chose Ganbaru, one day, one plank, one step at a time. Now this shop is mine, built by my own hands. But when you feel you can't go on? Kenji asked. Tiada smiled softly. That's when Ganbaru matters most. Growth doesn't come in comfort. It comes in struggle. Pain forges strength. Slowly, Kenji absorbed it. Exhausting days, sore hands, repetitive tasks, He whispered Ganbaru to himself and kept going. His skills grew. Blisters turned to calluses. Movements became precise. He learned to respect the wood and shape it with real purpose. Belief returned, not blind hope, but quiet, earned confidence. Tiara nodded one day. "You're learning more than carpentry. You're discovering your true self." Then came the real test. Tiara fell ill and needed weeks of rest. "The shop's yours now, Kenji. Can you manage?" Fear surged through him. "I don't know if I'm ready." "You are," Tiara said. "I believe in you." Alone, Kenji faced orders, clients, mistakes. One complex table for a demanding customer pushed him right to the brink. Nights of rework, errors piling up. One dawn, staring at the unfinished piece, he thought, "I'll fail. I'll disappoint Tiara. I'll lose everything." He slumped, head in his hands. Then Tiara's words echoed. "Growth comes in struggle." He took a deep breath, rose, and whispered, "Ganbaru." The table finally emerged, imperfect but honest, crafted with heart. The client inspected it, then smiled broadly. "Masterful work. Who's responsible?" "Me, sir," Kenji said shyly. "A young man like you? Outstanding. I'll spread the word." Later, alone in the shop, Kenji wept, not from defeat, but from triumph. When Tita returned, "You did it. Because of Ganbaru and you." Tita placed a hand on his shoulder. "It was always in you. I just pointed the way. You walked it." The workshop thrived. Kenji brought home more food, stability, dignity, not riches, but real purpose, and the deep knowledge that he could endure anything with Ganbaru. This isn't just a story. Science backs it up. Researchers link perseverance through adversity to a growth mindset, believing your abilities, developed through effort, not fixed traits. People with that mindset tackle impossible challenges. Studies even show persistence builds new connections in the brain. We literally grow stronger mentally. Pain isn't the end. It's the forge of transformation. True Ganbaru isn't blind stubbornness. It's resilient adaptation, smart forward motion, fueled by your deepest why. Now, reflect for a moment. What's your current battle? Supporting your family? Building your dreams? Surviving the daily grind? It's hard. There are days when you think, "No more." Results stall. Doubt creeps in. But remember Kenji, a boy who had nothing. Yet, he chose Ganbaru. Pain is inevitable in growth. Embrace it. Turn it into fuel. From victim to victor. Ganbaru isn't superhuman. It's feeling the fear, the exhaustion, the doubt, and continuing anyway. One more day, one more step, even on shaking legs. The person you become outweighs any outcome. Kenji didn't chase fame or fortune. He built character, saved his family, left a legacy of resilience. What legacy will yours be? One of surrender or unbreakable fight. The urge to quit never fully goes away. It visits daily. The difference? Choosing to rise despite it. That's the secret of true fulfillment. Acting through fear, transforming pain into power, seizing the imperfect moment. So when you're at your limit, whisper Ganbaru. Recall Kenji's choice that changed everything. Yours can too, not instantly, but inevitably, if you persist, adapt, and rise each time you fall. If this moved you, subscribe for more, like the video, and comment Ganbaru below. Claim that commitment to yourself. Thank you for watching to the end. Your story isn't over, and it won't end in surrender. Keep going. Ganbaru.